Welcome to the fastest stop in town. Today, Masechtas Rosh Hashana Daf Lamed. We're going to begin on the very bottom of Chav Testament Beis. Amrulo Echad Yavne ve'Echad Kol Makom Sheish Bo Beistan. The question is that after the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, where do we hear the sound of the shofar? So there was a machlokas. Was it only in Yavne? Was it in a place where there's a Beistan Kavua like Yavne, or is it even in a Beistan Akroi? So Amar Rav Huna says, we continue to Amud Aleph, says like this: V'im Beistin, my V'im Beistin. What does that mean? What exactly is this referring to? That we blow the shofar if there's a Beistin. So it means like this: V'im Beistin Mifnei Beistin, Lafuke Shlo Mifnei Beistin. That's coming to tell you in front of it that you have to actually blow the shofar in front of the Beistin. However, if it's Shlo Mifnei Beistin Deloy, then you're not allowed to. So we said that Yerushalayim was more of a situation where people would blow the shofar even if you were close by, but not in Yavne. You actually had to be there. So my ba'od zos. So what does this mean? Ilema kedetani zois meboile. Should say zos. What does it mean ba'od? It's not adding anything. El de Yerushalayim taikin yechidin, Noviyavne ain't taikin yechidin. So one difference is that in Yerushalayim even an individual would be able to blow the shofar. In Yavne an individual cannot. Noviyavne ain't taikin yechidin. Is that true? In Yavne they didn't allow one person to blow. But kiyas Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef Omer to kimasayim shlichat et tzibur tekiya b'Yavne. After he finished blowing the shofar, was shoma inish kol inei. There was a person who didn't hear in his ears. So mikal tekoya yechida. So they, from all, there was an individual that was engaged in the blowing. So therefore, we see that even there was it was done by an individual, not just in Yerushalayim, but also in Yavne too. Elav Yerushalayim taikin ben mizman beistin ben shalom mizman beistin. It means it was done anywhere, any time, even if the basin was not in session during that time. For example, they had already went home. In that situation, so Rashi says, Shahachal Bateim. B'yavne bizman beistin in. Shaloi bizman beistin lo. It's only when the basin was in session. The question is, on Rosh Hashana, they're in session. Okay. But that's what we're saying. So where it says, Ha bizman beistin miyataikin. V'yafilu shaloi b'fnei beistin. L'chaira, he's saying that during the time the basin's in session, you can blow mashma even if you don't do it in front of them. Lo, the ilu b'Yerushalayim taikin ben bifnei beisin ben shlo bifnei beisin. When it comes to Yerushalayim, they blow the shofar whether in front of the basin or not. V'yavne bifnei beisin in shlo bifnei beisin lo. As we're saying, no, it's all totally on if it's in front of beisin. Igin masilha de Rav Huna aha. The pasuk says like this: B'yom haKippurim tavir sheh b'chol artzachem. Malami, that pasuk comes to teach. Every person has a chiyuv of hearing and blowing the shofar. Amar Avhuna v'im beistin my v'im beistin bizman beistin. It means the time. Lafuki shlo bizman beistin. It means not during the time of beistin. Deloy. So Masav Rabba. So Tekiyas Rosh Hashana. Some people don't read Rosh Hashana. V'yovel deichas Shabbos. Bigvulin ishu beisai. So my ishu beis. So ilem ishu ishto. A man and his wife. So issa mi machayva, is a woman mechuyev to hear? It can't be referring to women because they're not obligated to kiss shofar. El lav ish bebeso, it means in his house, means afil shalom bizman beistin. It tells that he's allowed to blow the shofar even when it's not during the time in which beistin is convening. Well, loyal bizman beistin. Really, it has to be done dafka when the beistin is in session. Beis Rav Sheshes Shava HaYovel, again Rosh Hashana with the Kiyel V'Brachos. Now should be Yovel taikin on Yovel and Yom Kippur. They blow the shofar bein bebeistin shekidshu boyes achaydish bein shebeistin shlo kidshu boyes achaydish. It doesn't make any difference in either beistin you can do. V'chol yachid v'yachid chayvat tekaya. And every individual blows a shofar. Rosh Hashana lo hayah taikin el bebeistin shekidshu boyes achaydish. When it comes to Rosh Hashana, no, it's only in a place where the beistin is mekadosh the mood. Not everyone is obligated to blow. My ein kol yachid v'yachid chayv l'kai ilim ad b'yovel taikin yechidin. Doesn't mean that on Yovel an individual can blow. Over Rosh Hashana ein taikin yechidin, individuals are not allowed to. But we know the stories we just said. Yaki Yasser Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Yosef, Omer, he said, Ki have Misam Shlich the Sibur to Kiyasa B'Yavno, when they finished blowing the shover, Shoma Inish Koyel Unye, Mikal Tekuya Diachidai. That he was not able to hear it from the sound of the shofar in his ears. So we say it could be done individually. Elab the il b'yovel taikin bein mizman based in bein shalom mizman based in Rosh Hashana mizman based in shal mizman based in loy. On Rosh Hashana they cannot be done if it was not during the time the based in is in session. Katanim is nonetheless we learn b'yovel bein mizman based in bein shal mizman based in lo oilam mizman based in really has to be done during that time. B'ha katani. That which we learned, b'yovel b'zman based in taikin bein b'fnei based in bein shal b'fnei based in. However, Rosh Hashana taikin b'zman based in only in the time that they're convening, bifnei based in, bifnei ubifnei based in. It has to be Rosh Hashana taikin bizman based in, ubifnei based in. In other words, it has to have, according to this, two components. So the first lashon, we said that when it came to in Yavne, we said that bifnei based in has to be in front of based in. Here it has to be also bizman based in. Okay. Itmar, now we will also like to some Rabbi Chiyaber, Gamdam Rav Yosi, Ben Shoyl Amar Rabbi, Ein Taikin El Kolzmach based in Yoshvin. Only when the basin is in session. Boy Rav Zera, Ninaru Lalmoid will Omdu Mahu. What if, says Rashi, that Nekru Mimu Shabam, they got out of their seats, Kidi Lalmoid, Leilach, in order to go, but they didn't really stand up yet. They're there, but they're not really in session. So Mahu, based in Yoshvin Be'ina, they have to be sitting Ba'ika. They're still sitting. Odilma's man based in Be'ina, Beleka, they're not really in session anymore. Take. Va'odzos Haiser Shalim Yisrael Al Yavna. So what does it mean in Yerushalayim if you could see it? So Roas Pratli Yosheves Benachal. If you're sitting like in a city in which is in a depth in a Nachal, so like in a valley, so you won't be able to see. Shamas, you can hear it, Pratli Yosheves B'Rosh Hahar. So let's say, for example, that you are on the top, you're sitting on the top of a mountain. So it's telling being able to hear it. Kroiva Pratli Yosheves Chutz L'Tchum. If you're far away, that you're beyond the Tchum, that's not close. Yechol Lavoy Prat L'Hafsik L'Nahara. That you're able to go, there's a river separating you. So you may be close in physical proximity, but you just physically can't get there. Next Mishnah, Rishayna, and this is also Masach the Sukkah, almost verbatim. Halulav nital b'mikdash shiva. They would take the lulav in the base of Mikdash for all 7 days. Medina yom echad. Outside of the base of Mikdash was only 1 day. Mishachar base of Mikdash. Hisra Rabbi Yaakov ben Zakha shehi lulav nital b'medina shiva zecha Mikdash. So we take the lulav b'zman hazeh as a zecher l'Mikdash. But it used to be outside. If you're in New York, you wouldn't be taking the lulav b'zman shebes Mikdash Kayim 7 days. It's only Zecher Mikdash. And then he also adds She Yoim Hanaf Kul Aser. The entire day of waving is Aser, which is referring to the waving of the Omer offering on the second day of Pesach. So the question is regarding the eating of Chadash, of new grains. When is a person allowed to do so? Only from the time in which the Omer offering is brought. So he actually asered that entire day when there's no base in Mikdash, that a person is not allowed to eat Chadash, new grains. Okay, so the Gemara asks the question, Manolan, how do we know that there's this inyan of doing things Zecher Mikdash? So Manolan Diabdin and Zecher Mikdash. The Pasuk says, Ki ala ruchalach, when I ascended to this, in this direction, umakosayich erpoich, and I healed your wounds. No Hashem, ki nidacha, they rejected me. Karlach, I called to you. Tzion hidarish einla. There's no one that's seeking. Mechlal deboy drisha, which means we need drisha. We need to be searching and seeking out for Hashem, and therefore we should be doing things zechel mikdash, which is a derisha, that we show that we really long for the upcoming rebuilding of the base of Mikdash. So my time, why did he do this? So Meheri upon the base of Mikdash will be built hopefully very soon this year. The Yomer people will make a mistake and they'll say, Shtakid, last year I remember, before there was a base of Mikdash, Milach Lenu Beher Mizrach, we were able to eat as soon as the sun came up. So Hashav Nami Neichel. So we'll also eat as soon as the sun comes up, which technically is allowed if there's no Omer, if there's no base of Mikdash. However, V'lo Yadei, they're not going to know. How could they not know this? Dishtaki lo yavi Omer. Since there was no minchas, there was no Omer offering, so therefore he Mizrach hitter. It was the sunrise that mattered. Bahash the Iko Omer matter. Once there's an Omer, only the Omer is going to be matter the Chadash. And therefore, because of that, we don't want anyone to make this mistake. So, Mivni Amos. When is the base of Mikdash possibly going to be built that you'll make this mistake? Because it's Pesach related. Ilema the Ivni Beshitzar. Is it that's going to be built on the 16th? Hari Hair Mizrach Hitter. Already, the base of Mikdash wasn't rebuilt at the time of sunrise, so therefore it's not a problem. You should be able to eat it anyway at sunrise. Ela Ivni Bechamesar. It was built on the 15th, which of course is Pesach itself, which is a Shiloh on Yom Tov. Mechatzais Hayoim from midday on. V'halwan lishtri should be mutter. Da'tanan who are chaykin, those who are far away mutter on mechatzais Hayoim. V'halwan and onward lefishein beisim esatzlan by, because they're not lazy, they brought it quickly. When Nitzracha the Ivni Bechamesar, they built on the 15th, Samach Shkiyas Acham, right before sunset. Inami the Ivni Belele, or it was at night. Look at this bottom Rashi. V'im timer Heichem Shkachas lo the Ivni Bechamesar b'Yom Tov. Rashi, so what do you mean? You're building the Beis Mikdash on Yom Tov? Ivni Laila, you built it at night. For Kaimel Masechta Shavuos, Dein Bin Beis Mikdash will be Yom Tov will be Laila. You're not allowed to build it. So what are you talking about? How is it shaykh to even think the Beis Mikdash may be built on Yom Tov? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you don't have to worry about this. Unbelievable Rashi. Hani Mili Binyan B'di Adam. That's only the Beis Mikdash which is by man. However, Binyan de Ha'asid Lavoi B'di Shemayim Hu. That's actually from the heavens and from Hashem. There, however, understand this. Like, how could he allow a binyan, which is Issur D'Oraisa? Okay, we do Issur D'Oraisa connected to the Avoda. Again, that is a possibility. Okay, let's continue now with the Gemara. So, Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Rabbi Yochanan Zakai, as we continue the Laman Beis, Beshitas, Rabbi Huda Amr. He actually holds like Rabbi Huda. What does he say? The Amr, at Etzem HaYom that you have until this day to do it. It's also to eat the Chadash until this day. Ad Atzma Shel Yom, except Ad B'Yad B'Chalal. Rabbi Huda holds Ad B'Yad B'Chalal, until, which means including that day, which means it's actually not that it's a din d'Rabbanan, but mid'oraisa you could already start eating. No. According to this sheet, it's actually din d'Oraisa that you're not allowed to eat Chadash the entire day. Does he hold like him? He argues, did not. This is the whole day is Aser. It was a Takana, so which is obviously not in the Raisa. So Rabbi Huda below him in a Torah who Aser. They say about Etzem Hayamazeh. So Haser Rabbi Huda who the Katoi. Within Rabbi Huda was a mistake. He thought Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai made a Rabbanan Karmer. He thought Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai held us in the Rabbanan. V'lohi. Midaraisa Kaimer. Really, he holds like Rabbi Huda. He's not disagreeing with him. It actually isn't in Deraisa. I b'ho hiskin katani. My hiskin darsha hiskin. It doesn't mean it was a Durabanan, but he darshan the psukim, and that's how he was able to show that it was actually a din Deraisa. Question 13. Either because Mikdash in Shtakid last year we allowed the sunrise at sunrise, so and therefore we're going to do it again sunrise. The problem is now the Beis Mikdash you have to wait until the Omer is brought, or it's a din d'oraisa that you can't do it the entire day. You have to wait until the end of the day. Okay, next Mishnah. Rishayna originally, and this is Gemara in Beya, beginning of Masechtas Beya. Hayim mekablan edus hachadash kol yom. We used to accept testimony all day for the new moon, even later in the day. Pamachas nishtoy edom melavoi. One time the Edom tarried in coming, and the Skalkal of Mashir, and they ended up saying the wrong song. They didn't know it was Rosh Chodesh, so they said the regular one. So they only accepted until Mincha time. Zman Mincha Daila, that was it. They came afterwards. They said today's Kodesh and then tomorrow's Kodesh. And this Rashi says, Rosh Hashana Koi. So today we'll treat it as Rosh Hashanah Mesafek, and then tomorrow as well. Even though they're saying it's today, nonetheless we're still going to be noig tomorrow as well. Okay. Fine. Again, which gets into the Yomi Richte Damya state. Is it considered the Kedushachas? That's what this whole Sugyam Bein discusses. Okay. Noig Noisa Yom Kodesh U'Macha Kodesh. If there was no longer this issue of the shear, so therefore he was able to accept testimony all day. So my kilkel, what does it mean, a mistake? Kilkel Levim Bashir. The Levim made a mistake in the song. So So some say what it means, it didn't sing at all. What does that mean? Says Rashi. When it comes to the Tamid offering in the afternoon, they didn't know what to do. Maybe witnesses will come. And they should sing the Shir Shel Yom Tov. It's Rosh Hashana. Maybe they won't come. It turned out today's a weekday. When it came to the morning sacrifice, ain't suffix. Since most witnesses don't come so early in the morning, we don't know what's going to happen today. We do not establish the saying of the shir of Rosh Hashanah in the morning. We don't do that. It was in the afternoon was the mistake. So in the afternoon they didn't know what to do. They didn't say anything. But in the morning it's not an issue because there's no shir shel Rosh Hashanah that's done by the Talmud Shel Shachar. Okay. Shelo Amru Shir Kol Iker. Rav Zera Amru Shir Shel Choyel. No, it means they actually said that the weekday one Im Talmud Shel Ben Arbayim. Amru Rav Zera Lab Berei Puk Tani Luhu. Go out and learn this. The skinu shloihim ekablan edus hakadosh el kadei shehi shoyis b'yoyim l'hakar tamidim musafin. That they were not makabel edus except in order to be able to have time to be able to be makriv the karbanos, the tamid offerings of the morning and afternoon, the karban musaf, the nischayim and their libations, the loimer shira shlo b'shibush, and to not say shira as a mistake. Now, if they actually said the wrong one, that's a mistake. What mistake did they make? They didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to make a mistake. Whereas it says no. If you don't do anything, that's the worst. It's a very interesting word. Sometimes you try something and you fail. That's a mistake. You made a mistake. The biggest mistake is not even trying, doing nothing. So he asks a question. When it comes to Tamid Shel Rosh Hashanah, in the morning, Karib Gilchaso should be makriv in the normal way. The Levim say what they say. They bring the libations, and they say the Shir Shel Chol, as we mentioned in the Rashi before. Karib Gilchaso. But Musaf Mahu. What's the din when it comes to Musaf? So Almar Harninu Elokimu Zenu. Hariu Elokei Yaakov, which is actually the same as we say on a Thursday, which is on a weekday. So that's what we say. We say Harninu. But Mincha Mahu Oimer, what is said by the Talmud by Mincha? So he says, you say the following: Kol Hashem Yachin Midbar, which of course we're familiar with when we put away the Sefer Torah on Shabbos. So Zman Shechol Rosh Hashanah Liyos B'Chamishi B'Shabbos. Let's say Rosh Hashanah falls out on a Thursday. Shashir Shul Harninu Elokim Ozenu. Again, on a regular Thursday, that is the shir that you sing. That you sing Harninu. So Lo Haya Oimid B'Omer Shachris Harninu. They wouldn't say Harninu in the morning, which is what they would normally do on a regular Thursday. Then the Shechayizer Kaifel as a parak, because they would go and repeat the chapter. Elo Mahu Oimer. What would they instead do? Instead, they would say Hasiroisim Sevel Shichmai. They would say something else. V'imbo Adam Achar Tamid Shel Shachar. What if the Adam came after the morning sacrifice? Amar Harninu. Then they would say Harninu. Alpha B'Shachayis V'Kaifel as a parak, even though it's going to be repeated. Now, Iyamar B'Shel V'Kohecha the Mistapka. Anytime there's a doubt, Amrin and Shira the Choyel. You say the weekly one had an Amr Oimer B'Kafel. That's why it says repeat it. Eli Amrat Lo Amr Klal My Amr B'Kafel. What does it mean? You say it and you double it. So as the Gemara concludes on Laman Aleph, Shani Hasam di Shir di Yomihi. This is different because this is the song that you're supposed to sing normally on a Thursday to begin with, says Rashi. V'hacha hainu taima di Amar Shir dechol b'chamishi b'Shabbos the Shira di Yomihi. That is the song. Shir haruya li'omer hayom. That's the shir you're supposed to say anyway. There feel Rosh Hashana nemer shir eschoil, because even Rosh Hashana you would say this shir. So therefore, that's why the din is different regarding this. Okay, we're going to stop there. Let's see a couple questions. Question 14. When do we find the lo haya oimrim shir shachol that we do not say the weekday one, but tamid shel shachar shel Rosh Hashana? So he says, if let's say it's a Thursday, shal b'yom hey, if it's a Thursday, uvo edim kodim the tamid shel shachar, and the witnesses came before, then we would not say the normal shir. Okay. Question TA 14. B'yom Kippurim taviru shofar malab shekol yachad chayav l'tkaya. Everyone has to blow a shofar. Him be'inan bezman beistin ubifnei beistin. Do you need it to be done at the time of the beistin and in front of the beistin? V'mahadin b'yavne le'inyan Rosh Hashana shechol b'Shabbos. Okay, so bezman beistin be'inan. Everyone holds it has to be done in the time of the beistin convening. Bifnei beistin lo be'inan. In front of the beistin is not necessary. Rosh Hashana b'yavne bifnei beistin. However, on Rosh Hashana and Yavne, it had to be done in front of the beistin. Question TA15. Ma hoyu ashir shel yom b'musav shel Shabbos u'ma hoyu b'mincha. It's a hard question. You have to remember these psukim. So mincha, we say hazib l'cha b'hazenu. Mincha az yashir Moshe. Okay, we're going to see this in tomorrow's daf. Adkan.